Hello viewers, we have seen in the first part of AC fundamentals about different values that are and terminologies that are used in AC fundamentals. We talked about what is time period, what is frequency, uh, then we talked about what is instantaneous value, what is RMS value, what is peak value. Okay, then we talked about how the equations I is equal to Im sin omega t or V is equal to Vm sin omega t are written. Then we also talked about that whatever is written after sine in bracket omega t is always in radians. So instead of changing your calculator mode to radians, I insist always that you multiply it by 180 by pi so that you are converting the thing into degrees, and there is then no need to change your calculator mode from degree to radians. Okay, because for rest of the whole calculations as far as this particular subject is concerned, it is all in degrees. Okay, so only for these numericals in AC fundamentals you'll need the phase to be in radians. Okay, yes, to proceed now, let us talk about what's a vector first. Now, the very first difference between a scalar and vector is scalar has something to do with only magnitude, but when I talk about vector, it is magnitude as well as direction which is important. Okay, just to give you an example, when I say two vectors 2 and 2, when it is a vector, it has got three different permutation and combination. When it is scalar, it can be 2 plus 2 which is 4, but when it is vector, it can be 2 plus 2 which is 4, it can be 2 plus 2 which is minus 4, it can be 2 plus 2 which can also be 0. Okay, and why this three different cases can arise? This is because of the direction. Okay, yes, now the vector can be represented by two ways. One is what is called as rectangular and another is what is called as polar. So when we give rectangular dimensions, that means real part and imaginary part, this form is called as rectangular form. And when we give the magnitude of the vector and inclination with respect to a reference axis, this is what is called as polar form. Okay, so when you can see over here the phasor diagrams, when we draw, there is a particular reference vector, and you take either a voltage or current as reference phasor, and with respect to that another vector is drawn. For example, over here in this diagram, current is taken as reference phasor, and the voltage is in the anticlockwise. Always the sense is always taken in the anticlockwise sense. Okay, so you can see over here the current is lagging, or we can say the voltage is leading. Okay, you can see over here as I go on increasing this phase from 0 to 360 degrees like this. So when this tip moves from 0 degrees to 360 degrees like this, that is 2 pi to be more specific as far as radians is concerned. If you see over here, you can see like this. So 0, 30, 60, 90, 120 like this up to 360 degrees, there is a generation of sinusoidal waveform. You can see those 30 degrees is shifted like this, 60 degrees like this, 90 degrees like this, and so on. So when a phasor is rotated from 0 to 360 degrees, there is a sinusoidal waveform generation. Okay. Now, when I talk about phase difference, what is meant by phase difference? If I am drawing a vector like voltage vector V is equal to Vm sin omega t, I'm drawing it like this. Let us say it is starting from t is equal to 0. Now, after certain time, you can see after 30 degrees, let us say, current vector is starting. Okay, so what is meant by this is current is lagging behind the voltage by 30 degrees. Okay, so if at all I want to write the equation, if at all the same case is to be considered, I'll be writing V is equal to Vm sin omega t, but I will be written as Im sin omega t minus 30. Why minus? Because it is lagging. Why 30? Because the difference is 30 degrees. Okay, so V of t is equal to Vm sin omega t, and I of t will be equal to Im sin omega t minus phi. This minus indicates that it is lagging. Yes. Phasor diagram is drawn corresponding to time 0. Okay, so we always start with t is equal to 0 on horizontal axis. You can see over here these two diagrams are the same or different. Just think over for a second. Okay, let me explain. In the first diagram you can see current as reference phasor, okay, and the voltage is shown going ahead, okay. As I said, whenever in electrical terms we say lagging or leading, it is always in the anti-clockwise sense, okay. When I say A is leading B, that means in the anti-clockwise sense A is ahead than B, okay. So over here you can see in the first diagram that voltage is leading, okay. In the anti-clockwise sense you can see voltage is leading, or another way to put it up is current is lagging, okay. In the second diagram you can see over here on the reference axis, now it is voltage which is taken, not the current, okay. And you can see current is over here, that means current is lagging behind, okay. So if you compare these two, the difference is only in the reference axis, rest of the things remaining as it is same, that the voltage is leading ahead the current, or current is lagging behind, isn't it? So both these diagrams are absolutely same, except for the fact that here the reference axis is taken as I, here the reference axis is taken as V. Okay, let us proceed further. Let me talk about the different AC circuits. Okay, so when I say AC circuits, there can be three different parts. One is what is called as purely resistive circuit, another is purely inductive circuit, and last is purely capacitive circuit. Okay, we'll discuss one by one. Let me talk about purely resistive circuits. In purely resistive circuits, let us say a voltage equation is written as V is equal to Vm sin omega t, and I is equal to Im sin omega t, where Im will be equal to Vm by R. Okay. Of course, in resistive circuits, voltage and current are in the same phase. What do I mean by that is the phase difference is equal to 0, so phi is equal to 0. The moment I say phi is equal to 0, cos phi is equal to 1. That is why purely resistive circuits are also called as unity power factor circuits. Okay, power consumed over here is Vi cos phi, where cos phi is equal to 1. So it is simply product of the RMS values of V and I. You can see in the waveforms also that V is starting at 0, going at maximum and coming at positive 0. Current is also starting at the same point, going to maximum at the same point and coming to positive 0 at the same time. Okay, voltage is going to negative maximum at 3 pi by 2, current is also at negative maximum at 3 pi by 2, and again 0 at 2 pi. Okay, so current and voltage both go hand in hand. So that is the speciality of resistive circuits, that voltage and current are both in the same phase. Okay, so there is no phase difference between. So cos phi is equal to 1, that is unity power factor. Okay. Yes. The second one is what is called as purely inductive circuit. In purely inductive circuit, let us start with the basic principles. V is equal to L di by dt. Okay. You can take L to the left hand side, so it will be V by L dt is equal to di. Now if you integrate both these sides, you will be getting I is equal to 1 upon L, and it will be integration of V dt. Now let me substitute V as Vm sin omega t. Vm being constant, I can take it outside the integral sign. So I is equal to Vm by L integration of sin of omega t. Okay. So I is equal to Vm by L. Now what will be the integration of sin omega t? It will be minus cos omega t divided by omega. Isn't it? Okay. Again, omega being constant, I can take it outside. So it will be Vm upon omega L in bracket minus cos omega t. Okay. So I is equal to Vm by XL minus of cos omega t. Okay, I can write minus cos omega t as sin of omega t minus pi by 2. Isn't it? So it will be I is equal to Im sin of omega t minus pi by 2. Here I have introduced one term over here, what is called as XL. So inductive reactance is equal to omega L. Okay, so now my equation for current in purely inductive circuit becomes I is equal to Im sin of omega t minus pi by 2. Now this minus pi by 2, how does it reflect on the waveform? You can see that this is voltage which is at maximum at t is equal to 0, and when it is at maximum at pi by 2, at t is equal to 0, you can see current is starting. Okay, then you can see when it is going to positive maximum, this is at positive 0, voltage is at positive 0. That means voltage has already started, and the difference between voltage and current is pi by 2. And who is behind? Current is behind, so that is why it is minus pi by 2. Okay, so I is equal to Im sin omega t minus pi by 2 indicates that it's a lagging power factor. Okay, so minus pi by 2 indicates that current is lagging behind the voltage. Okay, yes. As far as pure inductive circuits is concerned, this will be pi by 2. Otherwise, practically speaking, this angle will be lying somewhere between 0 to 90 degrees. Okay, let us deal with purely capacitive circuits now. In purely capacitive circuits, again let us start with basic principles as Q is equal to CV. If I differentiate both these sides, dQ by dt is equal to C dV by dt. Of course, dQ by dt is equal to current, so current is equal to C d by dt of, again let me substitute V as Vm sin omega t. Vm can be taken out, so I is equal to CVm differentiation of sin omega t. Now what's the differentiation of sin omega t? It is cos omega t into omega. Again omega can be taken out, so it will be I is equal to omega c Vm, in bracket it will be cos of omega t. Okay, so I is equal to Vm by xc cos omega t. Now what is this xc? Basically is equal to 1 upon 2 pi fc. Okay, so capacitive reactance is equal to 1 upon 2 pi fc. Okay, I can write this cos omega t as sin omega t plus pi by 2. So I'll be ultimately writing current equation as I is equal to Im sin omega t plus pi by 2. You can see in the phasor diagram that current is at is at maximum when the voltage wave is starting. That means current is ahead. That means when I'll write current equation, I'll have to write plus pi by 2. Okay, so isn't it reflecting in the equation also? So I is equal to Im sin omega t plus pi by 2. Okay, and then this is voltage wave at maximum when current is at 0, because it has already started, isn't it? When it is negative maximum, the voltage is at positive 0. Okay, when it is at negative 0, the voltage is at negative maximum, isn't it? So every time current is ahead by pi by 2. Okay, of course this is the case of purely capacitive circuits. Of course purely capacitive circuits cannot be practically feasible, so the angle between the voltage and current will be somewhere between 0 to 90 degrees, but it cannot be exactly 90 degrees. Okay, again if I talk about power consumed in inductive circuit, purely inductive circuit, it is Vi cos phi, but since phi is equal to 90 degrees, cos phi will be equal to 0. So in case of purely inductive circuits, mind well, I'm saying purely inductive circuits. So in case of purely inductive circuits, power consumed is 0. Similarly over here, since phi is again pi by 2, so cos phi will be equal to 0. So power consumed in ideal purely capacitive circuit is also 0. Okay, so that is it for the time being. Okay, let us see the next part in the next video. Thank you.